Welcome back. We did it again. We took notes, we watched, we oohed, we awed. I gasped. Personally, I don't know what you did, but this episode was somewhere in between all the others. I don't know what. Let me just note right at the very outset, all the ladies cried. Not one tear was shed by Gerry. Did you see him cry at all?
No, he did not cry.
Okay, that makes it bizarro episode.
Yes.
Because not even
There
at
was
the
a
end.
couple moments where I thought he was going to cry, and then he didn't.
He didn't.
And I think he's getting over it when he has to hand out the roses in terms of.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already getting hardened.
I think so. And it was pretty clear throughout the show who was going to get one and who wasn't.
Yes, I thought so too. The way it was edited and everything. Well, anyway, welcome to Ladies Who Question. And tonight we are, well, I am questioning Gerry's judgment. We'll get to you. But you know, just my input. What do I know? I'm not a 72-year-old male on the hunt for some poontang. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No,
no, that's not.
anticipating that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, not his hometown visits is next. So it starts out with Leslie crying, and that's a flash forward.
It was confusing.
And I thought it must be a date thing, which it was, right?
It wasn't actually a one-on-one date because that was a group date.
She was a group date.
And then they went on the Ferris wheel together.
Right. Okay. So we'll get to that.
Yep.
So it opens up with Hava Nagila in the pool.
Yeah, that's what is that a traditional Jewish dance?
It is very
okay. Hava Nagila.
Oh yeah, Hava Nagila Vuniskmukpa or something like that. I
Okay.
don't know. I learned it at day camp. We would learn all these different camp songs, like from different countries and different languages, and I don't remember them all, but I do remember that one because it was fun. You dance around, and just like the women were doing in the pool. So they were just being good old girls, having some fun.
Yep.
6 of them left. Ellen, I think, was the first interviewed, and she still seemed pretty enthused about the whole thing.
She did.
Yeah, she was very upbeat, right? Which is her, sort of her. I mean,
She really had her hopes up this episode.
yeah. Anything else you noticed about the opening that I'm not picking up on?
No, but I did think that Ellen was a little bit scared. Was that at the beginning? No, maybe not.
She was still enthused at that very beginning part,
Yeah.
but as the day, I should say the episode or whatever wore on, Faith was nervous at the outset in the very beginning. She was just like, oh, I don't know, I haven't really had any time with him and blah, blah, blah. What I did notice was in the background, and you probably didn't notice this because you're not insane about candy as I am. When they were talking to Faith, I looked and there was this huge, giant jar of M&Ms. And I don't even remember what she said because all I could do was focus in the background.
See that.
Well, of course you didn't because you're not insane like I am. I was like leaning going, I just want to stick my face in that jar and eat all of them. Okay, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Okay, I was hoping maybe you'd notice, but I'm the freak.
I gotta go back and look.
So Faith does get the one-on-one date,
She does.
as she was hoping. And they get what? It was the helicopter
Ride, and she's so happy, and it seemed like they really had some chemistry.
Yeah. Well, the helicopter on the boat, right?
Yes,
The helipad,
and then they
or-
landed on the yacht, and then they wound up in the hot tub.
Yeah, she said she was afraid of heights, and all I was thinking was, I wouldn't get in that helicopter.
Right.
No freaking
Yeah.
way. It's too scary.
I know.
I don't know. And then they were going over the mountains and then all over the ocean. Leslie, I think they flashed. Did you see that?
Leslie was not having it. She was absolutely manic, depressed. She was just nervous and sad and playing the victim. I think she was like, kind of pulling a Theresa thing, only in her own way of it didn't play well because I think she was really being a baby about it.
Yeah.
And like, feel sorry for me. Well, everybody else is in the same boat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I was in the same spot. And I just thought, well, I've seen her look very annoyed before, but this was a step further, right? Yeah.
It was like overdoing the pout and the cry.
All I could think of was that maybe she's a little too attached. And I also thought at the time, before they went into it a little bit later, that she has some bad experiences in her past, and she has been damaged in one way or another, whether it's through her own reactions and her own behavior or her own doing, or you know what I mean? But either way, she seemed to me, I thought to myself, this girl has been damaged, some way.
Didn't she mention that she had been cheated on?
Well, that's what I was going to say later. But I was thinking to myself, when they initially showed her being so put out and, as you said, babyish about it. I thought, there's got to be more to this than that. I don't,
to get that reactive.
Yeah. Like this attached this quickly, you're too old to not be able to figure that out.
Right.
Just my observations.
That
I could be full of crap.
A good observation.
There was so much smooching with Faith and Gerry. I was getting a little nauseous.
Oh yeah. No, I think that's part of the date. I mean, part of the deal. Like, I think they're kind of maybe told to do that because they all do it.
Yeah, maybe that is.
And make sure you show your affection and yeah.
Let's see what else. Faith's childhood.
Oh, right.
I think that's
she
what got her
doesn't have
the rose,
a mother or a father.
Yeah,
well, how exactly was she raised? Was she in foster care?
I don't know. She said she was a child living alone or something. Remember, she said that or something.
Like she never had a mom or dad.
Yeah,
I'd like to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, I mean, if she was in foster care, then I guess maybe she was an orphan for whatever reason, and we'll find out because I don't know. She sounded like a rough childhood, and she gave herself some pretty good self-analysis, I thought, Right. I don't remember what she said. Do you?
No.
But she was sort of explaining, this is why I am the way I am, and I don't know. I thought, well, she's thought about it, and she wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know if you really want to expose that. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
She really was transparent, and I don't know. I don't know if Gerry appreciated it or it got him a little nervous about baggage and things that she might have.
Yeah, maybe, but she got a rose, didn't she? Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, she got a rose. Which means hometown
on the date.
On the date.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the date she got a rose, which means hometown. And then at the end, he says, I think she could be the one. Remember?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he sort of wrapped it up. He sort of always does a little synopsis of whatever went on. Oh, I think she could be the one. He said that, and I thought, wow. I hope this isn't taken out of context. I hope, editing. Leslie looked, she came back in. And
she goes up and down.
Well, here's the thing. Did you notice how when she came in from the date, they all asked her, how did it go?
Right. Oh, boy. Mm-hmm.
Okay, they ask her how did it go, and then so she starts telling them, and then Ellen looks peeved, and she says, or she sort of pulled a Kathy, like she goes, we didn't need to hear that much or whatever. And I thought, gals, you shouldn't have asked.
Exactly. And Leslie's getting all worried.
Let's jump to the group date.
Okay. Yep. Santa Monica Pier.
That looked fun.
It did look fun, playing the games, and it seemed like they were genuinely having fun together as a group.
All of them, yeah. Theresa, she takes him aside.
Okay.
He kind of did an aside with all of them, didn't he?
They kind of went and sat on a bench. And
What'd you think about what she said? I thought she was doing a real hard sell on herself.
Oh my gosh. It was just pouring it out, like almost begging him.
Yes.
And I just thought, oh God. This is going to be a red flag. She just seems so sappy and so desperate. Mm-hmm. And you just don't want to come off that way.
No, I wouldn't think. No. But she just seemed to me just like she was doing a hard sell. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, is really Theresa this timid, sweet girl? I don't know. But maybe that's the desperation talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ellen looked like she was having a lot of fun, but I'm not surprised she had a good time at that Santa Monica Pier thing.
Yeah. Because it's a little competition with the games, and she's so competitive.
She's so competitive, yeah. That's right.
I think they rode the Ferris wheel together, and she poured it out again.
Oh, that's right. She did. I'm falling in love with you. Yes. Didn't she say that again?
Yeah.
Bad move.
And then right then and there, you can kind of tell. It looked like Gerry was not as connected as she was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you could tell. He just sort of held back a little bit. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then Leslie, or no, Susan had a sit down with him at the pier, and it was like not going to happen.
Right. You automatically knew that.
Yeah,
that was out.
friendly, but no. And then Leslie, he has a sit down with her, and that's when I started to really question her mental health a little bit. And I don't mean in a horrible, like sick, weird way.
Right.
I just mean I feel like she needs some counseling. She's getting over something. Maybe she just had a recent breakup, and then she was saying how she'd been cheated on, which you brought up earlier.
Right.
And that can seriously damage your psyche. And so maybe she's still feeling kind of beat up about that. So maybe she's not ready for...
Yeah. Maybe there's like some PTSD where she falls for guys and then they cheat on her. And she's feeling super insecure about how this is going to land. And that's why she's so sad and has poured her heart out to him.
Yeah, and it explains her insecurity, which leads to her looking annoyed and upset and all the tears, and I don't know.
Yeah, and if that's kind of how she is now, you kind of wonder how she is in the real world, real life when things go down, or if she's going to be really possessive, or because if they accelerate when you get into real living.
Yeah, that's absolutely
and that could
right.
be a concern.
Yep. I think she's sort of a little damaged bird. I have to say I felt when I started processing what I perceive, which, as I said, I could be full of crap, of course, but what I perceive as maybe what she's been through or how she's processing that for herself, I started to feel bad.
Right.
My sympathy grew, for her, just on the possibility of what I'm making assumptions about. Right. But then he goes, "You're my girl."
Yes. Yep.
And he said that to somebody else too. I remember hearing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, or unless we saw that in a preview.
In that moment, I'm like, okay, she's a big contender now.
Oh,
because he's never really said anything that was that meaningful. Like he never says he loves them,
right?
Because that's like not happening.
That
right
is
now.
verboten.
But when the girls come at him so strong, he doesn't really respond with something that they'd want to hear. And this was something that she made her more excited about.
I've noticed that on all those when I used to watch them before, though, when they don't necessarily respond. At least not on camera.
The guys.
Or
whoever,
and the women, the Bachelor or the
yeah.
Bachelorette. They don't reciprocate.
Right.
Which is smart.
I mean, they're trying to be very cordial, but not lead them on to think that they are the one.
Right.
But I think when Gerry said that to her about being you're my girl, I think that was pretty...
It might make her feel, if she doesn't end up getting chosen, like,
trouble.
You shouldn't have said that. That was the wrong person to say that to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Ellen,
no connection.
Not going to happen.
You could tell the way that he interacted with her. There wasn't anything left.
No passion. No. And you know what? She kept grabbing him and kissing him, and she was the initiator.
Yeah.
All the time, and I almost felt like he's going along with it because she's like, well, she's pleasant and she's pretty and she's nice and
I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah, and she's almost like my sister, but different.
Exactly. They'd be buddies.
Well, that's what I've always thought.
Yeah.
And I like her. Then Susan came over and comforted her.
I know. Susan,
she's so cool.
I know. We were saying that tonight. Like, she's such a team player. I think in the back of her mind, she knows she's out.
Yeah.
And I want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I mean, she seems like a solid friend.
She needs to live here.
Yeah.
Around here.
Exactly.
We need to hang.
Ellen, we'd love to meet you. Susan, not Ellen. Susan, we'd love to meet you.
Yeah. Ellen too, but I'd love to have, wouldn't that be fun if we could interview her?
God. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be?
It'd be so fun.
She could never give us the inside scoop because they signed those NDAs. So,
yeah.
maybe she could just tell us a little.
Right. Off the record.
A little skinny off the
Not
record.
on the air.
Yeah. So he doesn't give a rose because he's so. Remember when he was at the?
Oh, that's right.
At the
He got
pier.
all frazzled. And I don't know if that was just drama created by the producers or if he was just like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
He was overwhelmed in the moment, like, I can't make this decision. And I wonder if it was true, if he
Yeah.
was deciding between Theresa and Ellen
Oh.
in his head. Maybe. That's what I was thinking.
Really, between Theresa and Ellen? I guess that would be the only other.
Well,
Like,
I didn't know
yeah.
if there's anybody else that was really
Well,
a
no.
big contender.
Because with Sandra, the interview they showed with her at the pier was
Ice cold. Yeah.
20 seconds, maybe,
Right.
and it wasn't even him with her. It was just her,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I think so. It was just kind of a little cropped scene.
Yeah. And I thought, well, she's out, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling she's going to be just fine.
She'll be fine.
Sandra, yeah.
Yeah. And I can't believe, was she 75? Wait, who's...
She's 75.
No, wait, there
Man,
was
she
one
looks
of them
good.
that was 75 at the end because Nikki said, oh, she's 75. I go, 75? Wow.
Oh, I don't know who that. I don't know. Maybe it was Sandra.
Maybe it was Ellen.
Sandra's in Ellen?
No. Somebody was 75. None of them look 75, that's for sure.
No way. Whatever that looks like
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know. Well, cocktail party.
The girls all look really good.
Yeah, everybody looked
They
really
looked so
nice, didn't
nice,
they?
yeah.
And I didn't hate anybody's dress except for Teresa's, but I can't stand her fashion sense anyway. I know.
I know.
I feel like I'm always beating up on her, but there's just that. Did you see that dress? It was like kind of that
Kind
sort
of really low cut.
but then it had some mesh.
Right, to kind of cover.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, and that can look really good or sexy or pretty, but it just kind of looked
Blah.
blah. Yeah, it was blah. Who get the rose? Roses.
Ooh, the roses. Okay, so we already, Faith already had one. So
From the
two of the
one-on-one date.
from
Yeah.
the one-on-one. So two of the gals, he was handing out two more. So we're down to three. And it was pretty obvious who was going to get one until it got... Okay, so Leslie, of course.
Of course.
Faith already had one. So it was between... Well, but I think it was between Theresa and Ellen.
Isn't that who she... Were they standing side by side? Because wasn't that a two-shot?
Yeah, I think it was.
But
Yeah, I can't remember.
was that next to... I don't know, remember. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Anyway.
then, the last rose goes to Theresa, and she like practically faints and falls over herself, and no. And poor Ellen, she was
Oh,
not a
man.
happy camper. I mean,
I think she was angry.
yeah, there was a little bit of anger there when they parted, and
Because he said, can I walk you out? And she goes, yeah, sure.
okay,
Whatever.
and she's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hope maybe her exposure in her hometown will get her some really great dates.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing bad to say about her. She was a
yeah.
little rough around the edges, but
Yeah.
she was a good sport, and she's pretty, and she wants a companion. She wants to find love, and I
Yeah,
think
and she's fun.
she's fun. Yeah,
I'm surprised that she hasn't found anybody.
I know. And same with Susan. I hope Susan gets some good vibes from this.
Yeah.
She deserves it.
Oh, you know what? Also, before we go on or wrap it up, I read something about Sandra. Remember how we were saying last episode about how we could not believe Sandra did not go to her daughter's wedding, and I sort of offered up. I said maybe her daughter's been married a few times. Yeah, I think this was her daughter's third wedding.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
It could have been a courthouse.
yeah, which is why they didn't look dressed up, or although I mean I don't know, but I
Wow.
read that and I went, so
Yeah, that's why she was like, well,
we're on the trail.
yeah.
They're like, why? I mean, what's she going to say on national TV? Oh, it's my daughter's third wedding. I don't need to be there. That would,
And then they go, oh my God, your daughter's been married 3 times?
right.
And she's only this old or whatever.
So then she would have looked even worse, just going, oh, what? So she was kind of in a weird position there. And maybe when she did it, she thought to herself, I may not make it past the first round or second round anyway, so I'll be home. So I'm just trying to,
Oh, right.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to offer up reasons why people behave the way that they do. You got to sort of
You kind of
look
have
at
to
it.
read between the lines and
Yeah, walk in their moccasins.
Yep. So the
That was
ending was
it.
Ellen leaving, a little disgruntled, and then
Susan was
grief.
okay. She
Susan
seemed
was-
all right.
she was fine.
Yeah,
I
Ellen
mean-
was. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sandra seemed okay. So we got
I don't remember seeing. I must have missed that part.
of Sandra.
I didn't see how she accepted it.
I didn't either.
Oh, maybe they didn't even show her.
I don't think there was enough drama, so maybe they didn't show her.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she probably
yeah.
just went up and said, "Hey,
Yeah,
catch you in flip flop."
Yeah, exactly.
And
Next week is hometown visits, which they did a little trailer of that looked. One of the grandchildren said, "Are you going to be our new grandpa?"
oh yeah, he goes, "Maybe," or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell whose kids
I couldn't
belonged
either.
to whom, so
Right.
I just kind of looked at that and went, okay, mishmash of
Of
kids and
right, a lot
Then
of
some-
grandchildren.
girl, the woman who looked like she could be related to
Leslie.
Yeah.
She looked like Leslie. I don't know if it was her daughter, maybe.
I don't know.
But
Her-
she was crying.
yeah, she was crying. Yeah.
So I don't know if she was sad because she didn't like Gerry or she's sad because she thinks her mom might not get Gerry.
Do you think that was her daughter? She looked kind of old.
Maybe it was her sister?
Yeah, I thought maybe it was her
Yeah.
sister.
But it has to be like a pretty close immediate, not.
Yeah.
But she did look like her.
She did.
So you've got to, we can't wait to see why she was crying
Oh, yeah. Well,
because that's kind of odd.
yeah.
I've never seen a family member cry on a hometown visit.
No.
Not that I've
mean-
seen a lot of hometown visits, but yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Well, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. I think we covered
No,
it. It
I
was
think we covered it too.
a strange little episode.
It was a strange. It was kind
Yeah.
of blah, and then
yeah, it was just sort of in between. And you
now
know,
that Kathy's gone,
now that
the pot stirrer, who we loved watching.
I know, I know. Now it's just going to be.
There's really no controversial person with the exception of Theresa, because she would, if anybody creates drama, it'll be her.
It'll be her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what she would do other than continue to wax rhapsodic about her
Right.
fabulous date. That was so wonderful. Oh yeah, I think my grandchildren love him. You know,
Oh,
I mean,
right,
who
right.
knows? I mean, yeah, it's going to be something barfy.
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting to see her family.
Yeah. I'm interested in the families.
I am
yeah.
too.
And then there were a bunch of couple boys, like they young, look like 20 somethings.
Oh right.
I bet those are her kids, Leslie's kids.
Yes.
Didn't she say she has 3 kids?
I think I can't remember.
Well, anyway, they looked.
Yeah, they look 20-something-ish.
Yeah.
Good-looking kids.
Yeah, big. Mm-hmm. Like big boys.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Okay.
that's that.
Well, hey,
let's wrap this up and.
Look forward to next week.
Yeah, next week.
Okay.
It's, hometown visits should be interesting, and let's hope for more tears.
Yes. Gerry, it's time to shed some more.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Harvey.
Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by Lisë, Dominique, and Holli Caulfield. Music, My Lionheart and Sketch Music, Florian Monux and Matthew Anderson. Font, Geofanny by Adriana619. Research, Holli Caulfield. Social media, Chelsea Caulfield. Please follow Ladies Who Question on all social media, ladieswhoquestion.com, and subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. This is a Harvey Doodle production.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the individual opinions of Lisë, Dominique, and Holli Caulfield, and should not be construed as personal advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree to not use this podcast as any advice for any personal or medical issue of yourself or others. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the podcast.